how do I find friends as a homeschooler? How do I find community? This is one of the biggest concerns I have heard from homeschoolers or people considering homeschooling for all the years I've been doing this. And how long is that? I've been homeschooling for 18 years. My name is Jacqueline. This is homeschoolhangout.xyz, where I, a veteran homeschooler of forever, make videos to try to help you homeschool in peace and clarity, with a special emphasis on California sometimes. So, community. Community is a hard one, so much so that this is actually part of a collab that is being hosted by Devine from Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. So when you're done with this video, there will be a playlist of other people's suggestions too, down in the gobbledygook. So there's a few different ways that you can find community. One, I highly recommend, if you have a faith and a church body, get involved in your church body. That for us is a very big core of our community. And the kids community, they're friends with those kids. They, see them. We did things with them. But like if you go to my church, there's not a lot of kids my kids' age. It is, though, where I get a lot of my friends. I'm in a small group and all of that. So I highly recommend going to your house of worship that you're a member of. But beyond that, okay, that's great. Church. What do you do during the week when everybody's at school? I recommend following your interests. Now, in our area, one of the big ways that we have community, we're still technically homeschooling, is we have a support group. Now, that's not a co-op. That's not classes, and that's not what's called an ISSP or like an umbrella. This is just a support group, and that's where my kids do their graduations through. We have a monthly park day. When they were younger, they played sports. They have classes together. And we have like parent get-togethers every once in a while. Like the ladies will go out and get dessert somewhere. That is a great place to build your community, because they don't have to be in your co-op or taking the exact same classes or doing the exact same thing you are, but you have a touch point where you guys can all come back and your kids can do some of those more banner things, yearbooks, formals, teas, senior class trip, all those things. I really, really recommend the idea of being in a support group or starting one. And when I say that, I have a friend who's part of like a little informal support group where they do some co-op stuff. They do teach some classes, but they have both charter and non-charter students together doing it. And, start the group you feel like you need to see, but also your older homeschool parents might be a great source of those co-ops and tell you what to do. I homeschool because I don't want to be told what to do, but I mean, they helped me find the support group. Also, find classes. And one of the best ways to do that is find an older homeschooler, or maybe their kids have graduated, and said, what classes are in the area? That's how I found out about the choir my kids were in. And I'll say a big part of their community came from choir when they were younger, because it was all day classes. There were classes all day. There was choir at one location. They even had science at another location, or art classes or dance. And the kids would actually play in between the choirs and classes. And so that was a great time to build community. So if your kids are in a class, I'd build extra time for them to hang around before and after to kind of get to know people better. The other thing is get active in your community and the things that interest you guys. And what do I mean by that? One, we're big library nerds. We go to the library every week. And that was also another way to build community. One, when you have, fifth graders, sixth graders, high schoolers who are at a library in the middle of a school day, you might run into other homeschoolers who happen to be there for the same reason. Just this last Tuesday, I saw people from a local charter school who were there meeting with their teacher. So they might also be where you want to be. Even if that's just, we've run into homeschoolers shopping at the Dollar Tree at 10 o'clock in the morning. Where you go in your community when you see other kids, they may live close to you. That's why they're at your store or your library. It's a great way to connect. Another thing, though, is in those libraries, they have things like teen councils. And my middle two, they were on our local library's teen council for years. And so they met kids in the neighborhood-ish who went to public school. And that helped them build community. They did classes, they did activities. It was so much fun. Another similar thing like that is sports. We have, especially when they're younger, we have sports teams that are not part of schools. So, they go play soccer and at 5 or 6, they go play t-ball. They can do different things like that through some of the little leagues in the area. If that's a big interest for you guys, you may really find your community there. I know someone else in the homeschool community, they play, I think, hockey, things like that. So look for those groups that may not be homeschool groups, but feed to your specific interests, your children's interests. And the other thing is for parents, you don't have to just do homeschool social things for you either. I was on a board for Friends of the Library there for a few years. I was involved in like a creative Fresno group here in town. And I got to meet other adults who, yes, they didn't have the kids involved, the kids and the ages and the homeschooling, but they nurtured other interests in me. So feel free to do that. Also, volunteer work. My kids loved volunteering for the Pregnancy Care Center when they were younger, and they'd go do mailings, and they were hanging out with people who were retired. It was still a community, cross-age community. So volunteering, activities, co-ops, churches, classes. There are so many opportunities out there to build community, to find friends. And then if worse comes to worse, you can just let them go play out in the neighborhood. What do you do for community? And make sure you check out the playlist and see what everyone else does. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.